I'm Dan Fitzpatrick at StockMarketMentor.com on Sunday, March 4th. And in this video, it's going to be a short one because it doesn't take a long time. We're going to look at Michael Kors. This is I won't say a core holding of mine because that would be a dumb joke that's actually not true. It's more of a speculative holding for me. And I bought the stock. I did not buy the options. And if you look at the options, you'll know why. The spreads are wide. The open interest is small. That makes for a stock that you can't hardly get out of if, excuse me, if it takes a dive and goes the other way. But here's the deal. I'll just explain my IPO strategy, which is something that I've done for years, and it's worked out really well. Wherever the stock opens up, typically what happens on an IPO is the big firms suck in the retail folks because that's just what they do. They get you to buy too high, and then the stock starts moving down, and the retail folks start selling, and all the while nobody's really talking about whether they would buy or hold or whatever the stock because they're in the quiet period. And then at some point the stock bottoms and it starts moving up, and this is something that can happen. It doesn't always happen. Starts moving up and then ultimately takes off. Of course, the Palm, if you were around when Palm went public, you know that that's not what happened. This was actually just like the slope of death here that went down. But here, so on Michael Kors, this actually, what I wind up doing is I'll wait for the enthusiasm high to run its course. I'll avoid the stock as it goes down here, or just trade it on some other strategy other than an IPO strategy. But then when the stock moves above the enthusiasm high, as I'll call it, then everybody that's in the stock is a winner. Okay, so they're going to tend to hang on to the stock. It's also a stock then that's really vindicating any firms that took the stock public. They've got a reason to be behind it, and you'll wind up seeing upgrades or price targets moved up, stuff like that. You'll see a positive buzz, and it's all because the stock's moving higher. Okay, compare Kors to Groupon. Not really rewarding the shareholders. By the way, so what would I do on Groupon? Okay, this was the lemming high here, where everybody got in on this. All the retail guys got in up here at 30 bucks because they couldn't wait to get in on a company that has a very simple website that allows you to buy basically coupons. Kind of like all the stuff that you used to get in the mail and probably still do on the junk mail. So what I would be doing on Groupon if I'm trading the IPO strategy is wait for the stock to go up there. Now, hell will probably have frozen over by that time, so I may want to go long some, some retail guy that sells fur coats. But the bottom line is, this is the IPO strategy. You wait for the stock to get above the enthusiasm high, and then you buy the stock. And once again, it's not to say that you avoid it all during here. It's just that if you're buying it, it's a different strategy. So here with Michael Kors, I mean, this was pretty much it. It just took a couple days and the stock took off. I like that. I just bought some last week. I don't think it's too late to be buying this. I think this was a breakaway gap here, meaning that the stock should not return to this level into this box. You can see where support is there now. So any kind of a pullback to here, I'm viewing as a buying opportunity. Reason I'm mentioning this, because I hardly ever mention IPOs and chart of the day type of thing, the free chart stuff, because I just don't want to keep coming back to them, but I also don't want to leave you hanging. We tend to cover the same stocks for a while as long as they're working at Stock Market Mentor, whereas the chart of the day, honestly, is to show you the kind of stuff that I do, and then ultimately to get you to try Stock Market Mentor on a free 30-day trial. So that's really what this is all about there. I showed you my marketing strategy. Now, by the way, why don't you go do it, okay? Anyway, so what I'd suggest doing on Michael Kors is just hold the stock. Let the stock work for you. As the stock moves higher, let me get this out a little bit. as the stock moves higher, you kind of slowly build a position. Buy, maybe sell some. Buy, maybe sell a little bit. And let this trend be your friend here. So that's how I would trade a stock like Michael Kors. Also watch when earnings are. Guess what? This was an earnings pop here. So it's going to take a while before earnings are announced. So anyway, that's it for this chart of the day. Members, get over to the weekend update. I got some divergences that I want to talk to you about, and that really matters. So, okay, guys, I'll see you next time.